You're watching the ACC on ESPN as we welcome you inside Cassell Coliseum, where the Virginia Tech Hokies are hosting the NC State Wolfpack. Two teams at 2-3 in ACC play, both desperate for a conference win to get back to 500. Hi, everyone. Alongside Randolph Childress, I'm Jay Alter. Thank you so much for joining us. Randolph, should be a close, competitive game between two teams with contrasting styles.
They do. The Hokies want to control the tempo of this game. They have to handle the pressure. NC State wants to create turnovers, get out to a league-leading ACC in fast break points, see if they can continue to do that tonight. And
we should have a really good big man battle as well. You've got your eye on it.
We should. I think with the injury to Brantley Hatfield, I think it puts so much responsibility on Ben Middlebrook. He likes to catch it on the move, leads the ACC in blocks. He anchors their defense. Got to stay out of foul trouble. On the other side, he's going against a big physical guy, Elijah Poteet, an improved offensive player. Let's see who stabilizes the paint for the team.
Middlebrooks at NC State in red and Poteet in the home team Hokies in white. It's Virginia Tech that starts with the basketball. Virginia Tech back at home after a West Coast trip over the weekend. Brandon Rechsteiner starts the game off with a three.
Great time for Rechsteiner, knocking down that first look.
Take a look at the Wolfpack starting five. You mentioned still without Brandon Huntley Hatfield tonight for NC State. Here's Jaden Taylor. Off to Marcus Hill. 3 seconds to shoot. Fires off the mark. No good.
Good first possession for the Hokies on the offensive end and the defensive end of the floor.
And Rechsteiner has gotten back into the lineup. Tees up Jaden Young, who drills the three. Back-to-back triples in the opening minute. Great start for the Hokies.
They have their ability to get in the paint and force rotation. One of the things Coach Keach was concerned about was containing the dribble, keeping the ball out of the paint.
Taylor answers with a triple of his own. Jaden Taylor, nothing but the bottom of the net. And the threes are flying early in Blacksburg.
Jaden Taylor's shooting the lights out the last 6 games. He's over 52% from behind the three-point line and comes out and laces up the first one, lets you know he's in a groove from behind the three-point line.
Poteet passing out of the matchup with Middlebrooks, and that's a turnover. So Mike Young still without his freshman point guard, Ben Hammond, who was sidelined in the West Coast trip due to a foot injury. 3rd straight game without him, but Brandon Rechsteiner has come back into the starting lineup and looked terrific so far, just 2 minutes in.
And you would think Ben Hammond, he's really fast, quick with the ball in his hands. His ability to break the defense down is missed. But so far, Rechsteiner's been doing a great job just taking care of the basketball, getting the Hokies in offense.
Taylor connects on a three again. Back-to-back threes for Jaden Taylor. He's got all 6 for the Pack. So 4 made baskets in the opening 2.5 minutes. They've all been from 3.
Lack of communication on NC State. They're not talking on the switches. And they've been punished by threes. That time they got lucky.
Long rebound, and Hill takes it coast to coast. Marcus Hill scoop to the hoop, and it's an 8-0 NC State run.
That's a familiar sight with NC State. Getting in transition, they rebound, they push, averaging over 16 points a game in the ACC. Fast break points, and won't get much easier than that.
We mentioned the contrasting styles, Randolph, and right now the pace favoring Virginia Tech, though. They want to play in the 80s, whereas NC State wants it in the 60s, and the threes continue to fall. That one belongs to Toby Lawal.
When you knock the first one out, it just gives you confidence. Right now, both teams are hedging on the ball screens. When you do that, someone has to help that big that's rolling. They're doing a great job of skipping it to the weak side. Let's see the adjustments that'll be made in how they defend these ball screens.
Middlebrooks through contact, no good. Even with that miss, these teams, a red-hot start. 6 of their first 9 shots have gone in. Lowell on the drive draws the foul. There's Kevin Keats, who told us during shoot-around that feels like his team is finally dialed in defensively for the first time this season. Back-to-back games played in the 60s, and it's a team that prides themselves on setting the tone defensively.
Well, he didn't know his team was going to come out red hot from behind the three-point line for a team that's been struggling to score.
And Rex Steiner's had the hot hand early. Finds Poteet trying to spin his way free, muscling no good. Offensive rebound, Tyler Johnson. He's coming off his first career double-double, and he picks up where he left off in California.
Big physical freshman, attacks the offensive glass. You've got to get a body on him. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Only 6'5", but he rebounds like he's 6'8".
Wide shoulders, and for a wing, you don't want to have to guard a guy like that boxing him out.
Middlebrooks right down the lane for an easy 2.
That's where Middlebrooks at his best. On the perimeter, facing you, faking that dribble handoff there. As a big, you're worried about the guards coming off scoring, and that time he kept it. Turned and drove it down the lane.
Johnson picked up his dribble, in trouble. Almost a 5-second count there. Rex Steiner, nobody home. Intercepted by Hill. Went for the slam dunk, missed it, and luckily there to clean up the spill, Dennis Parker Jr. tapped it home.
Turnovers, and we talked about it. That's just a careless turnover. You know, you want Rex Steiner just to keep that. It's not, it's not his fault. Ball was overthrown, and just take it, go out of bounds, set your defense.
Poteet with a head of steam, through contact, gets to go.
Both of these teams do a really good job of hitting their bigs on the roll. It's going to test that weak side coverage. And when they've come over it a couple of times now, since they've skipped it in the corner and knocked down a couple of threes, help side doesn't want to come over as much, and bigs are getting the roll now.
Shot clock down to 7, stolen away. Virginia Tech, 13 points. All 5 of their starters have scored already. Michael O'Connell, great defense there to deny Lowell. O'Connell, excellent pass, everything but the finish, and a foul call. Great start, 6 minutes in. 25 points combined. Both teams have started well offensively, Randolph.
Shooting from behind the 3-ball. Baseline corner, lacing it up. The wall comes back, says, I got one of my own. Close from here early.
Now NC State and Virginia Tech have started red hot from 3.
Yeah, and they're doing it in different ways. I think Virginia Tech and their movement and their half-court execution is creating some confusion with NC State. They're not communicating on the switches. And in NC State, creating turnovers on the other end. They're creating some ball movement themselves and knocking down threes. Both teams combining 5 and 6. And for NC State, this isn't what they usually do. They want to attack the paint, put pressure on the rim, and get paint points. And right now, they're shooting well from behind the arc. And really, that guy Taylor there, he's started out 2 for 2. They can get perimeter scoring with their ability to pressure and create turnovers. Mike Keats will be really happy. He just talked about how much their defense has improved right now. Their offense has improved.
Yeah, here we are thinking, okay, it's going to be in the 60s. Kevin Keats saying we want to keep teams low scoring, and instead it's an offensive explosion 6 minutes into this one.
Yeah, he can't be happy with his defense right now. There's been some breakdowns on his defensive end of the floor. He wants to keep the Virginia Tech on one side. He doesn't want the ball reversal. As you can see now, when they score, they get to extend their pressure like they're doing here. Kessler comes up to create ball pressure. I mean, to help relieve some of the ball pressure. I think Jaden Taylor's as good as there is in college basketball at pressuring the ball. I think him and Chucky Hepburn are 2 of the better on-ball defenders in the ACC. And I think just in the country, those 2 guys are elite on-ball pressure.
A very good defensive sequence there. Although it's ripped away, the freshman, Tyler Johnson. And then Toby Lowell flies in for the flush, plus the foul. He can jump out of the gym.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give up on the play. It's a great job by the freshman, but still there, and he goes up, and he didn't get up high enough, as I like to say. I want to see that 49.5-inch vertical, but catching it, giving you a glimpse of how athletic he is.
You know, Mike Young has said Toby Lawal, one of, if not the most athletic player he's ever had the pleasure to coach, completes the three-point play and then checks out.
He's fit in perfectly there. He's a lob threat. He's giving you positional flexibility. Played him a little bit at small ball, play him at 5. His athleticism allows him to defend smaller guards.
Breon pass into the game, number 4 in red, passing it off, going down low for 2. But NC State has had the answer offensively. Now can they string together some stops defensively?
The pressure's been good. I think the breakdown, keeping the ball out of the middle of the floor. They're trying to keep this reversal. Here, you see the switch there.
Jaden shoots, step back 3, and he buries it.
Jaden shoots, you cannot go under the ball screen on him. Shooting 34% on the year and starting to play with a little more confidence. And you can't give him a look like that. That's just what he does. He gets his feet up under him. He's lights out.
Corner 3. It's good. Everything going down. Dennis Parker Jr. drills one from the corner.
Let's see who's the first team that makes the adjustment in their defensive coverage right now there.
Both teams shooting 7 of 11 from the floor.
We expected the hot shooting from Virginia Tech. Wasn't surprised, I'd say, but NC State right now is lacing the nets with their three-point shooting.
And even with Virginia Tech, a team goes out to the West Coast for a week. You just don't know how they're going to return, or they're going to have that offensive flow, and they certainly have.
We talked about that earlier. You're concerned about it. You spend a week out on the West Coast, and Mike Young said there's no excuses for his guys. He said he came in Monday when they got back, practice a little bit, get their legs up under them. He's not allowing his guys to have any excuse at all. The way they're shooting it, they need to go to Cali maybe a couple times a week. Take the private jet out.
A battle underneath the hoop and a foul called. Patrick Wessler tangled up. We've got a good one. Virginia Tech up by a point. ACC play on a Wednesday night in Blacksburg. Now, what a game this should be. Top 10 matchup in the SEC. Tip off your Saturday, noon Eastern time, with Alabama and Kentucky. Randolph, what are you looking for in that matchup?
I want to see if Alabama responds. I mean, they played against an Ole Miss team that was a more physical team and really had their way against Alabama, and Kentucky is playing as well as anyone. And I was really impressed with their win against Texas A&M because of the style of play that A&M plays. They junked the game up, and Kentucky showed a toughness that they hadn't always shown in every game this year, but they responded really well, and I think it was the best win they've had so far.
You mentioned Ole Miss knocking off Alabama. How about Sean Padula a year ago playing for the Hokies, now making things happen for Ole Miss?
He is, and he's playing really well.
They have missed him here in Blacksburg. Coming out of the timeout, they go right back down to Dennis Parker Jr. He is feasted right under the hoop.
Well, there's so much help. The guards are stuck in no man's land because they're so long in that ball screen defense. Petit and Middlebrook are doing a really good job of guarding the ball, but they're being stretched out so far. And once that ball comes out, they've got to be sprinting out of there. Both teams are giving up a lot of baskets because of that.
Rodney Brown Jr. into the game for Virginia Tech. Finds Jaden Shoot. The floater falls. Jaden Shoot. He's been terrific off the bench tonight.
Now what's happening now is both bigs were doing a really good job of staying in front of the basketball, but they've given up baskets, and the coach has been yelling at them to get back. That time, Middlebrook didn't show as well, and Shoot just turned the corner and shot his floater.
Dennis Parker Jr. has been the catalyst. He has 8 of State's last 10. Marcus Hill on the drive, no good.
That's an unforced turnover there. Yeah. No reason to leave your feet. Rodney Brown there jumped in the air with no one expecting the pass to come in. Just stay on your feet. I thought he could have had driven into the basket, get his feet in the paint. Just checked in the game, so he was trying to get himself loose, get a feel for the game. He's not even sweating yet.
That's where if you're Virginia Tech and Mike Young, you miss your freshman point guard, Ben Hammond, who's out for a third straight game. Foul called.
Yeah, it was forced to call a foul. It was either going to be a foul or a backcourt violation. Breon pass there, coming off the ball screen. And that's what you're taught about as a guard. You come off the ball screen, you attack the big's hip, force the officials to make a play. Got to force the officials to blow the whistle. Come off, attack that hip. You see him step in the backcourt there, so it's either a turnover or a foul.
And it's Poteet's second, so he has to head to the sideline temporarily.
Tough way to get your foul. I thought he did a really good job of getting out, stopping the ball. This is where Middlebrook's got to take over with his size, his physicality.
Pass out of the double team, wave off the made three. The heel was on the end line for the freshman Paul McNeil.
There's opportunity for Paul. Paul McNeil, just as a freshman, was expecting him to come in and knock down shots, and comes in with the reputation of being a shooter.
And that rolls in. Jaden Young all the way to the rim for two.
Speaking of freshmen, this young man is really, really talented.
Well, that Virginia Tech, they're young, right? So if this
really
were
young.
A few years ago, you're thinking, okay, they'll stay in the system.
They'll stay here 4 years.
You just never know.
You never
know. You hope so, because the talent is here. They're gaining experience. You can see how much better they're getting each and every game these freshmen and sophomores are playing together. Wide open three. It's good. Rodney Brown Jr. And it's a 7-0 Hokies run. Timeout, NC State. $7-0 run in the last minute. 42 for Virginia Tech. Ties their largest lead of the game. 7 different scorers for the Hokies tonight.
There's been a lot of miscommunication. They're not matching up. They're not communicating. You know, for the Wolfpack, you see the bench guys are throwing their hand up like, what are we doing? They've given up at least 3 threes just by not communicating and not matching up defensively. And Kevin Keats is not happy with that. And when your team's identity is on the defensive end of the floor, got to get back and match up in transition.
Kevin Keats told us earlier the biggest concern is offense. Can you score enough to generate your full court pressure? They've scored plenty, but the defense has not been dialed in this first half.
Yeah, he's got to be concerned with that, because right now they're shooting the lights out in the basketball, but they're not defending well. They forced a few turnovers early, but their lack of communication on the defensive end of the floor has been hurting them. And you've got to be disruptive with the Hokies. You can't let them run their offense. They're just too good, too many counters to it. You got to pressure the basketball and stay in front.
Ben Burnham rejected by the rim. Jaden Taylor had the hot hand early. He's cooled off after his back-to-back threes to start the game. Inside Middlebrooks finds McNeil, who puts it up and in for 2.
You expect Middlebrook to touch it every time down the floor with his lineup, and he has a size advantage with Poteet on the bench with 2 fouls.
Shot clock down to 10. Burnham lines up a 3 and hits it.
Ben Burnham catches and shoots it in rhythm. He adds a balance with this team. He can score it inside and out. He's playing a 4. When you ball screens, if you switch with him, he can post your guards up inside and really effective facing up, knocking down threes.
And Virginia Tech 6 of 7 from 3 after the last one from Ben Burnham.
Stepped into it with rhythm here. You got to get to him. Got to find all the shooters. Close out again. Late, slow in the closeout. Ben Burnham knocking down another 3. Threes are falling here in Blacksburg.
Virginia Tech shooting 6 of 7 from 3. Randolph, how are they doing it?
You see the ball screen action here, and Dontre Styles is peeking. He comes over, he tags the big, and that's not his help responsibility. And Lawal just laces him at the top of the key, and he doesn't realize he has a low man there. That was his help. Easy pass. Knocking down the top of the 3 at the top of the key, and he's shooting the ball well. Lawal is shooting over 40% from 3.
And even with Elijah Poteet in foul trouble in this first half, Virginia Tech making things happen. And when you shoot the ball as well as they have, good things will happen. They've opened up a 7-point lead. Taylor triggers a 3. Can't connect. Offensive rebound keeps it alive.
Both teams are struggling, keeping the basketball out of the paint. It's getting wherever it wants to get to, and both teams are chasing on the defensive end of the floor, and they're getting open looks.
NC State has answered offensively in this first half, but they failed to string together stops. They have been few and far between. Good anticipation there by Breon Pass to knock it away.
Both teams right now with the ball screen defense, these bigs are spending a lot of energy. They're extending their pressure. They're sprinting back in the paint, and it's forcing that weak side guard to hang in the paint. Let's see if either team makes the adjustment.
Now, you've said it a few times in this first half. Who's going to be the first team to adjust? It'll probably be the winner of this game. O'Connell, who just made the 3, drives baseline. Tees up another triple, and Jaden Taylor delivers. That's his 3rd made 3 of the first half.
You notice the ball is just getting to the corner because that low guy has to help that big who's hedging on his ball screen. Look how far Middlebrook is out hedging on that ball screen.
Taylor picks the pocket up ahead. Styles draws the foul, a chance to take the lead from the foul line.
It's starting there. It started with the ball screen. You close out another baseline drive, and they're just taking horse shots right now. Those are easy shots. I mean, look, no one is there. He catches this ball. They're just late closing out. That ball's gone before anyone can get there. And both teams are just shooting it at a high clip right now.
Yeah, Taylor 9 points, all through 3s. He's got 3 of them.
And he's shooting it well right now. In the last 6 games, we talked about him shooting over 50%. He's keeping that hot hand. And
stays tied at 29. 7-0 run for NC State out of the timeout, though. Rodney Brown Jr. turned it over.
That's the ball pressure. It's didn't turn it over, but that's what Jaden Taylor does. Pressure the basketball. Rodney Brown just no pass, just came up, sped up, forced the turnover.
Lawal working on Middlebrook, stolen away.
Ball screen action, skip it to the corner. That's the game plan.
And it's working.
There's no reason to change it. Just get in the ball screen, force the big to help. Guard has to tag, spray it to the corner. You're going to get a 3 or drive a closeout.
That's the 7th lead change in this first half and a 10-0 run for NC State to move in front. Lawal follows his own miss. Count it, plus the foul. A chance to tie it at 32 from the line.
His quickness is a problem in the perimeter. Just a couple of possessions ago, he's already knocked down a 3. Just catches it and drives it. Shoots it, just quickly gets the rebound there, and O'Connell's like, man, He's got 2 fouls, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now he has to sit.
For the neutral, what a fun first half this is. Back and forth we go, and Blacksburg feels like every time one team makes a run, the opponent has that counter punch.
And we talked about it. I think the surprising thing is just how well State's shooting it from the three-point line. You know, and they're not a great three-point shooter. That's not their strength. They win by getting the ball in the paint, getting paint touches, not coming off, skipping it to the corner for 3. This is how they want to play.
Step back jumper. It's good. Dontrez Styles back-to-back baskets to put the Wolfpack back in front.
Now they get to set their full court pressure, and Rodney Brown just got to beat him. You can't play with the basketball. Taylor's really good, active with his hands. You just got to beat him and get your team in their half-court offense. This is what I meant about Whittlebrook as well. You see how far out these guys are helping.
Shot clock down to 8. Jaden shoot. To Wessler, puts it up and ties it at 34.
You set a screen as a big like Wessler just did there. But the way both teams are shooting, now you're going to start getting that roll because the guards don't want to help them rotate.
Styles, he's red hot. 3 in a row, Dontrez Styles.
Same thing, just all they got to do is just run a ball screen here.
Wolfpack scorching from 3, 7 of 10 in this first half.
They only averaged 6 on the year. I mean, per game on the season, and they already had 7.
That rattled in and out, no good. Halfway down for Jaden shoot. That would have been the Hokies' 7th made 3 of this first half. Taylor in attack mode. Into the double team, fade away and hits it. Jaden Taylor at Virginia Tech forced to take a timeout.
Come to Blacksburg, watch a game of horse. If you can do it, I can do it. One team's knocking down 3, you come back, hey, you can do it, I can do it. Dontrez Styles gets in the act.
Virginia Tech led by 7, but now it's a 17-5 NC State run.
Started with the pressure there by Jaden Taylor, just creating the steal here. Speed Rodney Brown up there, creating another turnover. And the 9 wins for NC State, they've averaged 19 points a game off turnovers, and they have 10 already in the first half. Just creating turnovers is a critical part of for NC State to win, and you combine that with their ability to knock down shots. That's why they have the lead here in the first half.
And the Hokies have been plagued by turnovers throughout this season. That is probably #1 on Mike Young's list, is what's piled up the losses this year.
And that's another possession there. And sometimes turnovers are quick shots. And that right there, possession comes down, it's no pass, no ball reversal, quick shot, and it equates as a quick turnover. And got to get shot attempts against NC State.
Now the Wolfpack with the momentum right now. They've erased a 7-point deficit. Now they lead by 5. A foul called there. Kevin Keats and the Wolfpack bench thought that was clean.
I think Brown's turning down shots. He's coming off that ball screen, and no one stopped him, and he's elevating and he's passing. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive. They're pressuring him, and he's sped up a little bit, but he has an opportunity there to punish NC State with the ball pressure.
Burnham lines up a 3. Missed it. You can't ask for a better look. Those are the ones that were falling for much of this first half for Virginia Tech. Offensive rebound keeps it alive. Tapped around Middlebrooks, gathers. Good spin move. And a foul call.
Yeah, Ben Middlebrook has an advantage with Poteet on the bench with 2 fouls. When they don't have transition opportunities, play through him inside and loves to spin baseline. Kind of the way DJ Burns is accustomed to doing in the past. Feel you lean on him and he spin. That baseline spinner.
Our women's basketball Sunday showcase begins Stanford and Duke, 1 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN2, and then it's Oklahoma at South Carolina, 3 Eastern on ESPN.
And there's not much size and depth right now. Even with, we talked about this with Huntley Hatfield is out for NC State. And Ben Middlebrook has been spending a lot of energy, not just on the offensive end, also defensively. He's really showing and active in his ball screen.
Nice move. No finish, though. Rolled around, did not drop for Rodney Brown Jr.
Got to get back in transition, though.
Foul call. Lowell reaching in, trying to deny Middlebrooks, and that's his second foul.
It's a bad foul by Lowell. He's got to know he's got one. And Middlebrook had his back turned. He did a really good job making him catch it behind the three-point line. And got a little too aggressive now. He picks up his second foul. That's a sit down.
Connor Servin checks in for Virginia Tech. Shows you how limited they are with front court options.
I was at practice yesterday, and he played really well. And Coach Young told him, he said, I got to reward you the effort he was playing. So it doesn't surprise me that he's comfortable putting him in a game in this situation. When coaches will tell you, all of them will say, hey, you got to force me to play you.
And after those made free throws, an 8-0 NC State run. And the Wolfpack's largest lead of the night. They've gone from down 7 to up 8 in this first half.
And they're looking for offense here, and with this lineup, where do you go?
Another turnover. Those are starting to pile up at the end of this first half.
Halftime can't come soon enough for the Hokies right now offensively. They don't have a guy they can run their offense through right now, and they're undersized.
And defensively, they're struggling as well. Wide open three, and the freshman Bryce Hurd knocks it down.
And it's dangerous because you got so many young guys and new guys on the floor. They struggle to communicate. Didn't talk on the post double there. Didn't rotate out of it and gave up another three.
No points in the last 3 minutes for Virginia Tech. It's allowed an 11-0 run for the Pack.
Rex Snyder's got to get the basketball in his hands. Pressure was really getting to Brown. Someone's got to get this team settled and get them in the offense.
This is where Ben Hammond being out with that foot injury kills Virginia Tech.
And he's a difference maker because he's so fast, so quick. It's really difficult to pressure him. He would definitely be able to handle the pressure, get them in the offense, and they can't wait to get him back. But this is the guy that's got to do it. It's got to be Rex Snyder. He's got to be the guy to get him in the offense. Someone has to take this ball and try to make an effort to put it in the basket right now.
Shot clock under 10. Inside Jaden shoot. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just difficult right now with this lineup. I think it's got to be Rex Snyder. He's got to put the ball in his hands, and he's got to come off and either shoot it or make a play for someone else. And right now, the pressure is really bothering the Hokies.
Well, the officials have to reset the clock here to 5.9. Well, it has been a ferocious finish to this first half by Kevin Keats and NC State, an 11-0 run, and a chance to add to it here.
Hokies got to pick up the basketball. There's no need to, you got to make him pick it up. There's only 5.9 seconds left, and you allow him to roll it up. Now he got a chance to take it all the way to the rim. Wow.
And a foul called on the screen's going to give the ball back to Virginia Tech here with a chance to score before break.
You can tell that was a late shot clock play where he's expecting him to pick up full court. I thought Duff was standing there, and it's giving the Hokies an opportunity here. Plenty of time, over 4 seconds. You got to know you can get up to 4 dribbles with 4 seconds. You're inbounding the ball here at half court. I just run a ball screen and tell Rex Steiner to go. Make a play.
The follow flush no good after the buzzer sounded, and Kevin Keats' team will head into halftime where they are 8-1 on the year when leading at halftime. An 11-0 run to close the first half. Mike Young and the Hokies scoreless for the final 4 minutes, trailing by 11. Hey, we welcome you back to Cassell Coliseum, the ACC on a Wednesday night on ESPN. NC State used an 11-0 run to finish the first half. This game was tied at 34 before that flurry to finish heading into halftime. Randolph Childress, Jay Alter with you. Jaden Taylor set the tone for the Wolfpack in that first half.
He is, and I think he's one of the best on-ball defenders in college basketball. And he did it with his defense and his offense. Started the game off knocking down a couple of threes, and he's been on a heater the last 6 games coming in, and he shows no signs of letting that up. And on the other side, Toby Lawau is just, he steps in at one, and his activity and quickness around the basket here. Catches is showing you that 49.5-inch vert had his half cut with picking up his second foul. And let's see if both of these guys can keep it going here in the second half. What a first half.
What's incredible for NC State, and the Wolfpack start with the basketball and an 11-point lead, is they average 6 made threes per game.
Yes.
Per 40 minutes. They hit 8 threes in the first half.
And Mike Young is going to make his group just do a better job of executing their ball screen coverage.
Taylor shoots over it, can't connect. Offensive rebound pulled down by Marcus Hill.
And that's a different kind of shot there by Jaden Young. The other ones, they did a better job of attacking the ball screen, forcing Virginia Tech to hold their backside coverage. That looked like Jaden Taylor just predetermined he was going to shoot that one.
O'Connell lines up the 3. And it's another offensive rebound. Back-to-back offensive rebounds on this opening possession for the Wolfpack. Marcus Hill, pull-up pop, got it.
That's what happens when you give up 2 offensive rebounds. I thought NC State took 2 bad shots. They got offensive rebounds and better execution on the 3rd attempt. And that's what happens when you give up multiple offensive rebounds in 1 possession. The basketball gods reward you.
Elijah Poteet back into the game to start the second half. He only played 7 minutes due to foul trouble in the first half. Middlebrooks assessed a foul there.
It's a bad foul there by Middlebrook. You often tell guys, you pressure the basketball, let them give it to you. You don't try to take it. Got his hand stuck in the cookie jar there and picked up his second foul. And he's got to be careful, because if he picks up another one here, he may have to sit down. And as we talked about it, there's not a lot of front court size and help for the Wolfpack.
Virginia Tech was terrific the first 16 minutes of the first half, but then a 4-minute scoring drought put them 11 points behind. And NC State starts with a made basket and a defensive stop. You can't let the Wolfpack separate early in this second half if you're the Hokies.
Lee Poteet one-on-one here.
Once again, Virginia Tech can't get the defensive rebound. Will give another opportunity to the Pack.
Got to secure rebounds. You got to go after it with 2 hands. If you've been Middlebrook there against Poteet, you got to turn and face, use your quickness. I don't know if there's a stronger big in the ACC. You have no chance of backing him down inside. You got to turn and face and use your quickness. And keep putting him in ball screens here. Attack him in the ball screen.
Hill tees up Middlebrooks.
Yeah, it's just the same thing. There's no answer to it right now. They just got into the same action differently. Didn't have a ball screen, dribble handoff.
Johnson drills the three, and that is the first made basket in 6 minutes for Virginia Tech if you go back to the end of the first half.
Just needs something positive to happen for the Hokies. This game's a long way from over.
Now Virginia Tech hoping the freshman Tyler Johnson's three can ignite a second half surge. I agree with you, Randolph. This game feels a lot closer than the scoreboard indicates. It was back and forth, tied at 34 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. NC State goes on an 11-0 run to kind of tip the scales. And foul called against Jaden Young, struggling to defend Jaden Taylor.
And NC State is starting to come out and attack off the dribble. This is how they usually play. Making 8 threes in one half is not the way the Wolfpack, I know the Wolfpack fans are watching like, where's this team been? And face up and attacking you off the dribble is what this team's accustomed to doing. And
another offensive rebound. Marcus Hill trying to muscle it home, can't do it. Virginia Tech's got to start rebounding. They have allowed 4 offensive rebounds in this second half alone. Poteet can't cash in on the block.
Poteet's late on the ball screen here, and he's got to turn and face. He's not going to be able to back him down.
Middlebrooks getting the better of that matchup right now.
Poteet reaches there, picks up his 3rd foul. And Mike Young's got decisions he has to make with his group. This team struggled when he went out of the lineup in the first half, when things started falling apart. And as Wessler comes in, and looks like Poteet's going to the bench.
Only played 7.5 minutes of that first half. Checks out here 3 minutes into the second. Saturday, noon Eastern time. Do not miss a top 10 matchup in the SEC. It's Alabama and Kentucky. Noon Eastern time Saturday on ESPN. Full court pressure from NC State. 14-point lead on the road here in Blacksburg.
NC State just being completely disruptive. Look where the Hokies are running their offense.
A foul on the floor. Mike Young talking with official Brent Hampton over on the Hokie sideline.
I think he's explaining to Mike Coach Young, that he thinks his player may have flared his arm and caught one of the NC State players.
Now the officials are going to look at this at the monitor. We'll step away. State up by 14. Well, the officials, A.J. Desai, Brian O'Connell, Brent Hampton, were in deep discussion for the entire media timeout, huddled up over the monitor. They just broke seconds before we were back from break. They were taking a long look at Jaden Young and Michael O'Connell.
We're explaining now to the coaches.
The foul called on the floor was a reach-in on O'Connell. We took a couple of looks during the break, Randolph, and I think it's likely that they reverse this decision and
be a flagrant one.
After review, The call on the floor of a foul on number 12, red, stands. 1 shot for white, 3. In addition, there's a dead ball contact technical foul on white, 3. Red will shoot 2 shots, red's ball on the baseline.
Yeah. I think they got it right. Even though I don't see the foul
I don't
on
see
O'Connell.
the foul.
I don't see the foul on O'Connell, though.
I would have just had the flagrant on Young.
I don't see the foul there.
And the other thing is, I thought the foul on O'Connell was on the floor.
I did too.
I don't think Young is in the act of shooting there.
Unless this is an NBA game and you didn't tell me.
So a bizarre swing, because even though O'Connell gets the 2 free throws, Virginia Tech still comes away +1, because this results in a 3-point play when really all O'Connell did was get elbowed in the face.
Yeah, I mean, he picks his dribble up there, so yeah, the foul. I don't know why it's a foul on O'Connell.
So NC State ball, a 13-point lead. O'Connell a 3, no good.
That was a really good defensive possession there for the Hokies.
Can they cash in on the offensive end? Rex Striner, been quiet. Tees up Young. He can't connect on a 3. Poked away, kept alive. Lowell on a rack attack. Toby Lowell, he can throw it down.
You know you can jump and dunk when you don't even have to throw it down hard. He just gets up there, puts his head at the rim and just drops it.
Middlebrooks feasting inside.
That time there's a lack of communication with the Hokies. Lowell was in the ball screen there, and it was a 4-5 ball screen. You usually want to communicate and switch those. No communication. Ben Middlebrook gets an uncontested layup.
The freshman Johnson misfires from 3. Wessler keeps it back in with Lowell. Young steps in, missed it. Wessler cleans up the spill, plus the foul. Patrick Wessler in perfect position. Virginia Tech a chance to make it a 10-point game at the line when we come back. All right, the officials said it was not the media timeout. Patrick Wessler was at the foul line, completed the 3-point play. So 10-point lead for NC State. Hill, scoop to the hoop. Marcus Hill.
Marcus Hill is the Wolfpack's leading scorer. Doesn't shoot a ton of threes. You got to know he's a driver. Can't give up the middle drive, and gives up an uncontested layup to the Wolfpack's leading scorer.
Going back to the media timeout confusion, the stoppage in play was at the 16:33 mark, so that's outside of that 16:30 or below window. So they'll play to the under 12 now. Kept alive by Johnson, who then threw it away. Well, the freshman hustles, and he's coming off that first career double-double, played a career-high 34 minutes in the win against Cal.
A lot to like about him. His motor, physicality in which he plays with, and he's going to be a heck of a player when the game slows down for him.
Marcus Hill, that rim's out no good. He's starting to take over, though.
Thought he should have used the glass on that one. Had a chance there, had an angle. A little bit of contact there, threw him off balance.
Splits the double team. Brown Jr. flying to the rim, and he was rejected by the rim. Taylor gives up the three, takes it inside. Fighting through traffic. Count it, plus the foul. Jaden Taylor been so impressive tonight.
He's knocked down a couple of threes, so we just gave a shot fake at the three-point line. You gotta go for it, you close out late. Here, just drive plays off too. Love to see guards when they do that. He pivots, takes the contact, kisses it off the glass. Jaden Taylor's having himself a ball game tonight.
Leads the Wolfpack tonight with 13. You've talked all night, Randolph, how impressed you are with his defense this season. If he adds this type of offense to his arsenal on a consistent basis, he becomes such a weapon in the ACC.
Well, when ACC plays comes around, he started knocking down threes, and we talked about it, shooting over 50% the last 6 games, and shooting even in the higher clip now. You've got to have the ball pressure there is really bothering Brown. He's initiating the offense so far away. He's just got to beat his defender. Can't keep playing with his food on the outside.
For as good as Virginia Tech was in the first half, executing their half-court sets led to some brilliant offensive work. They have struggled in this second half. They have not found a flow in these 7 minutes.
No, he hasn't. And Reckstein is on the bench now, and I thought he'd be the guy, and he hadn't seemed to get himself going. Rodney Brown's a 6'6" guard, and he has to play that with his size. He doesn't need to jump in the air. Just put those guys on his hip, beat him off the dribble, and initiate the offense for your team.
Ben Burnham spinning his way free, and a chance for an and one.
This is what Coach Young saw in the ability to bring him over from college at Charleston. I mean, he's a guy that can face up, knock down the threes, did the first half. He can put it on the deck and drive, uses that 6'7" frame, his body spins and finishes, takes the contact and got a chance at an and one here. And when you're struggling for offense, he's a versatile enough scorer that you can lean on him a couple of minutes until someone else steps up. But this is the end of the floor where the Hokies got to get back in his game. You can't allow your offense to dictate your defensive effort.
Cross-court pass finds Breon pass, and now Marcus Hill. Marcus Hill, he has heated up in this second half.
That's his game. He's a mid-range shooter. Quick, he's driving closeouts. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. Right now, State's just really aggressive.
Rodney Brown Jr. forcing that three off the mark. NC State, they like to run, get in transition in the fast break. Going a little too fast that time.
But they get to extend their pressure here. The bigs of the Hokies will come down and they feel like they're too much ball pressure. They'll set the ball screen. That time was no need.
This game was tied at 34 with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Since then, it has been all NC State. The Hokies out of rhythm offensively. Shot clock down to 4. Lawal heaves it and hits it. Toby Lawal with the shot clock winding down.
Lawal with his second three of the night. Big shot. Hokie struggling on the offensive end of the floor, and he's got to find ways to put the ball in his hands.
Shot clock down to 4. Breon pass, nice move. And Lawal blocks it. Corner three, Jaden shoot, got it!
That started with Lawal making plays, knocked down a three the previous possession. That time comes over and helps with the block. Sets up the Hokies with another opportunity, the offensive end.
Timeout, Kevin Keats. Back-to-back threes have the Hokies back within 8.
Ohio State, scoop and score. The dream season continues. Ohio State, Notre Dame, can't wait.
The CFP National Championship presented by AT&T begins Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Well, a new era of college football, 12-team playoff, and it all comes down to this. Ohio State and Notre Dame. Randolph Childress, who you got Monday night?
I want the Irish to win, but I think the Buckeyes will get it.
It's so funny. We haven't talked about this. I
No.
feel the exact same way. My football analyst at ESPN all season long, Notre Dame captain Rocky Boyman, and I got to let him down. I got the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
We got a good one here on a Wednesday night in the ACC. Out of the timeout, good look, Jaden Taylor. Can't knock it down, though. Virginia Tech, Randolph, they are back in this game. They were down by 15. That lead is cut in half. And we've got to step aside again, just as Virginia Tech was finding a rhythm. Mike Young, his team trailing by 8.
The Wolfpack have come out second half. They had made it 3, but if you look here, this is what they've been doing to get their threes. They run the ball screen, shoots the low guy. He has to come over, leaving Jaden Taylor weak side and unable to knock it down. And Ben Middlebrook gets calls with the foul there, and that's his 3rd. And that's interesting because usually sometimes they penalize the guard. You got to make an effort to go for the rebound and get it. I didn't think Shoot made an effort to get it, but both of our players we talked about in the open have 3 fouls now, and good thing for State, it allows them to extend their pressure.
So even though the Wolfpack getting good looks from 3, like you just illustrated, first half 8 made threes, 0 in the second half. This is a team that only averages 6 made threes per game. So the 8 in the first half, a huge surprise. They have yet to hit one in this second. It's allowed Virginia Tech to get back in this game.
Yeah, I thought the first 2 they took were rushed. Ben Middlebrook picks up his 4th foul here.
He's going to have to come out.
That's a big foul there. He's got to know. But you can't throw Lowell and shuffle his feet a little bit. Got away with maybe a travel, but that's a big foul. I think both teams have struggled without their bigs being on the floor in foul trouble. Poteet, I don't know if he's played 10 minutes tonight with his foul trouble, and it's affected the Hokie offense. And Middlebrook's motor and activity when he's out of the game has hurt the Wolfpack.
Do you think about putting Poteet back in with Middlebrooks benched? Could be an option for the Hokies. Lowell knocks them both down. An 8-0 Virginia Tech run, and just like that, it's a 2-possession game.
But Lowell's been active now. Without a true big on the floor physically, you allow his activity and athleticism here.
Both teams have been very aggressive in the second half. NC State has committed 7 fouls, Virginia Tech 6, so shooting 1-1 the rest of the way.
The Wolfpack likes to put a lot of pressure on the rim now, driving it, getting in the paint, getting paint touches.
Marcus Hill down the lane, denied. But credit Virginia Tech. The Hokies trailed by 15, 60-45. They are right back in it, only down 6.
Now, there's no rim protection here. So for the Hokies, you don't have to settle.
Burnham into a double team. Lowell, offensive rebound, puts it up, no good.
Good possession, I think, by both teams on the end. You got the shots you want. You're driving to the rim.
And Elijah Poteet is checking into the game for Toby Lowell.
I think it's a big opportunity now when he comes in. Give him a couple of possessions to get himself going, but with Ben Middlebrook having 4 fouls and Huntley Hatfield not being available, I think it allows Poteet to kind of put his stamp on his game.
Hill goes inside. Poteet was late on the screen, and it's an easy 2 for NC State.
Really taking advantage of ball screen coverage here. And
the first made basket for the Wolfpack in nearly 4 minutes. Poteet trying to answer, draws the foul.
I think he thought Ben Vernon was going up, cutting. Look what I found. Gets rewarded with the free throw. He was cutting in. Yeah, he gets that left arm there, the contact there. It's a good call.
Well, Poteet's been the most consistent scorer in the last 3 games for Virginia Tech. He had 25 points in the win against Miami, and then back-to-back 12-point performances on the West Coast. Only 2 points tonight. He's been dealing with foul trouble, but he's in the game now. It's his time to make his presence known.
Absolutely there. He's big opportunity with Ben Middlebrook being out of the game right now, and he only has 3 fouls. Right now, they're having trouble defending this ball screen here.
Jaden Taylor, been aggressive tonight, gets shoot up in the air, muscles it home, plus the foul.
He's been shooting so well from behind the 3-point line. They're running the same action. They're just getting to a ball screen. It doesn't matter. Just running into a different play. And drives that closeout. Wasn't bad defense by Shoot. He just had to go for the hezzy. Went for the hesitation move. And
Taylor's been terrific tonight, completes the and one, 17 points to lead all scorers. And it's back to a 10-point NC State lead.
Struggling right now. Hokies doesn't know who to go to, and this is where Poteet has to help him out.
Double team comes in. Poteet spins through it, puts it up. Couldn't connect. And NC State getting everything they want inside. They keep going down low, and it keeps paying off. Doof, a chance for the 3-point play. State up by 12.
A remarkable, astounding week for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. An ACC tournament championship that will never be forgotten. And now they're going dancing too.
So last year, the March Madness began with NC State winning the ACC tournament. I go back to 2022 when Virginia Tech won it, even Georgia Tech in 21. Lately in the ACC, if you get hot at the right time, NC State and Virginia Tech have showed it. You can cut down those nets, make your way into March Madness. So even though the records may not show it now or the standings may not indicate it, you never know when a team's going to get hot.
And both of these teams know. We talked about NC State, but this Virginia Tech Hokie program, when Darius Maddox hit a big shot against Clemson to elevate them to a win, and they go on and win the ACC tournament. And if Duke has a slip up in the ACC tournament this year, this could be another year where someone comes out from the middle of the conference and steals a bid.
You mentioned that Maddox shot, how similar, even where he was on the court, to Michael O'Connell's thrilling shot. You need a little bit of that.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Both teams shooting 1 and 1. Toby Lawal makes the front end. I guess we share that because as you sit here in the middle of January, you look at the records and go, okay, we're in the middle of the ACC, both of these programs, but These are the two programs that have illustrated in the last 3 years anything is possible.
They're your example. Your team right now, we're still early in conference play. A lot of teams are starting to get healthy. As you can see there, ACC has 5 teams in, and SMU being the next 4 out. A lot of basketball left to play. And I thought one of the stories with the ACC that people didn't talk about early was just the injuries to everyone. As NC State is dealing with some injuries here. Mike James hadn't played this year and was the leader of this NC State Wolfpack team, and Huntley Hatfield being out. So I think in the month of November, that was a big part of the story that from a league perspective, I don't think a lot of people discussed.
And it's unlikely that we'll see Mike James the rest of the season for Kevin Keats' program, and he's still got 2 years of eligibility if he gets this year back.
He's a really talented player.
Saturday triple header on ACC Network tips off Wake Forest right here at Cassell Coliseum at 2. Notre Dame and Syracuse at 4, and then your nightcap Cal will be at NC State. The Wolfpack hoping that they can finish the final 7 minutes here and leave with a road conference win, 10-point lead. They've controlled this second half. Marcus Hill, they've been playing through, who draws the foul here.
Mike Young changed his ball screen defense there. The roll kept hurting them, and the skip for 3 that time. They switched 5. Jaden Young just laid on the closeout, gets the foul. See if they continue with that ball screen defense, but got to string stops together, and their issue also is on the other end of the floor. They got to figure out a way to get the ball in the basket.
Marcus Hill makes the front end of the 1-and-1. You just talked about Mike James's injury. I think it's Marcus Hill who's probably benefited from that the most out of Kevin Keats' guards. He stepped up and played a big role for this Wolfpack team.
He's leading them in scoring, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and if you're a guard and you want to play college basketball, you're going to love playing for Kevin Keats. I mean, it gives you a lot of freedom. You're going to play in a ton of ball screens. As you can see here tonight, and Hill has just come in really aggressive and looking to attack downhill, and he's having a heck of an impression on Coach Keats in a short period of time.
Hokies desperate for a made basket. They haven't scored other than free throws in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Shot clock down to 4. Burnham can't hit it.
You can see the pressure just bothering the Hokies. They can't get anything. They don't have anybody that can beat you off the dribble right now. And the only guy on the floor that you can see consistently doing that is Brown, and he struggled with the pressure himself.
Stolen away. Burnham picked the pocket of Hill all the way to the rim. He misses the layup. Lowell finishes it. Finally for Virginia Tech, their first field goal in more than 5 minutes after 7 straight misses.
Great job creating a turnover in this end. The Hokies, this game, there's still a lot of time in this game, but this is the end of the floor. They got to pick it up here. How are you going to guard this ball screen? Are you going to switch it? Like, what's your defensive coverage here? And you got to secure a rebound.
Styles, step back jumper. Can't hit it. The door is cracked open in the final 5 minutes. Burnham in trouble. Finds Lowell for a 3. It's good! Toby Lowell breathing life into Virginia Tech down the stretch. Timeout Mike Young, his team back within 7. Should be a fun finish to the ACC on a Wednesday night. Now, NC State has controlled this game in the second half, led by as many as 15, but Randolph, Mike Young's team, right back in it.
They're starting to get stops, and on the other end here, you see the penetration, the backdoor cut by Ben Burnham, and wow by Lowell. He's knocking down threes. His activity inside around the rim, finishing in the paint. I think he's been active on the defensive end of the floor as well.
Double-double for Toby Lawal tonight, 22 points, 11 rebounds. And he has made back-to-back shots after 5 minutes with no made baskets for Virginia Tech to get the Hokies back within this game.
Keats has seen enough. He can't come out of the timeout with Ben Middlebrook, who has to be careful.
Playing with 4 fouls, tangled up here with Lawal, jump ball at the possession arrow with Virginia Tech.
3 consecutive stops here by the Hokies. They're turning up their defensive pressure, creating another turnover. Someone has to step up here and help Lawal on the offensive end of the floor.
Or do you just keep feeding him?
Oh, you do, but he still needs help. You got to run a ball screen action or something to get him the basketball.
Burnham going right at Middlebrooks, who was not aggressive, playing with 4 fouls, and the Hokies have made it a 5-point game with 4 minutes to play.
Need to get the ball out of the middle of the floor.
Here's Marcus Hill, shot clock at 8. O'Connell has to hurry. Finds Middlebrooks. 2 seconds, right to the rim. Ben Middlebrooks lays it up and in.
That's why you need him on the floor. He can just do so many different things on the offensive end of the floor. He anchors your defense. We talked about him leading the ACC in shot blocks, but he's really good on the offensive end at driving, creating angles, and finishing.
Foul called. A Ben Middlebrooks layup that ended a 7-0 run for Virginia Tech.
He needed there. He catches it with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Just fakes left, spins back the other way, lays it. Well, much needed bag by the NC State. Coming down the stretch, got a great one.
Now, the College Football Hall of Fame class of 2025 was just announced earlier today, and Virginia Tech's Michael Vick is in. Hokie fans watching this game will remember how dynamic he was. I mean, look at this. I don't think there's anybody close to Michael Vick. The way he played, just so unique, and he joins Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, and a whole host of talented players. I mean, Michael Strahan just getting in. Steve Slayton, he was so fun to watch for West Virginia. Congratulations to Michael Vick and everybody in the 2025 College Football Hall of Fame class.
A lot of great players on that list. Michael Vick is so deserving of it. I mean, wow.
And speaking at shoot-around with Kevin Keats, NC State head coach, he said when he was coaching Hargrave Military Academy, he would take his players on the road to Lane Stadium to watch Michael Vick play.
And the highlight of the team was stopping at, what's the restaurant he said?
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral. Can you imagine trying to tell your players that now in the ACC?
Hold on, it's a 4-point game with 3 minutes to play. This is the closest Virginia Tech has been since it was 37-34 in the first half. Cassell Coliseum roaring the defense on. Hill off the window and in. Marcus Hill delivers.
Marcus Hill's been quiet for most of the game and just steps up right there in a critical moment. No hesitation, just catches it and goes. He clears out a side on the Iverson cut for him. There's no doubt he was going up with that one.
Still a 2-possession game. Shoot down the lane, he answers.
We're seeing the Hokies now. Everybody's more aggressive. They're more aggressive on the defensive end of the floor. More importantly, they're getting stops. Now you get to the 2-minute mark of this game. It's about execution for both teams.
Jaden Taylor Hands it off for Styles, and now O'Connell. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Back to Marcus Hill. Spinning into traffic. Missed it. Rebound, Ben Burnham. Tangled up with Marcus Hill. And with 1:53, Virginia Tech will have the basketball, trailing by 4. So the call on the floor was out of bounds off NC State. So Virginia Tech will have to inbound this basketball. You see Hill, he had his foot on the baseline as he was touching that ball. So 1:53 to play. Virginia Tech trailing by 4 with the basketball. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Great job there by Brown handling the pressure. On the Wild, just getting them in the offense, being a press release guy.
Jaden shoot for 3. Got it! It's a 1-point game. And Virginia Tech has made 6 straight. They are roaring to the finish. Timeout, Kevin Keats.
Got ourselves a ball game now. Virginia Tech now, more importantly, they scored 6 straight shots, but they're doing it on the defensive end of the floor. Here, you cannot make the mistake and go under on Jaden Shoot. Hadn't shot the ball great tonight. He's dangerous anytime the ball's in his hands. Gets his feet up under him. He's as good of a shooter as anyone, a former top 50 recruit. Showing you why he was such a highly recruited player coming out of high school before he signed his letter of intent to go to Duke. And now Kevin Keats has to figure out what is he doing now.
11 made threes for the Hokies tonight. Jaden Shoot has scored Virginia Tech's last 7 points, and a 15-point NC State lead is down to 1.
Keats can't be happy with his guy. That's a mental error. He's one guy. You can't go under a ball screen on him. You got to chase over. Dennis Parker Jr. can't make that mistake. I think they're going to go for Hill, but the elbow ISO here.
Hill. Lowell got a piece of it. Virginia Tech with the ball, trailing by 1.
State's on the heels right now.
And Virginia Tech's red hot. They have made their last 6 shots. Under a minute to go. Tried to get it to Lowell, knocked away by Middlebrooks. It'll stay Hokies basketball. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
A lot of options right now. Shoots. Knocked down a 3 the previous possession. Took one to the basket now, and Mike Young brings in Jaden Young.
Mike Young has 2 timeouts. Would you use one now?
I think he is.
He is. And I think that's a smart decision in a 1-point game. You can't take the timeouts with you to bed tonight. Talk things over with 7 seconds to work on the shot clock. How about the Hokies? They were down 60-45 in this second half. They were ice cold, and they found a way to chip away at the Wolfpack's lead. And here we are talking about Michael Vick joining the College Football Hall of Fame class and how Kevin Keats would bring his high school team to watch him play. And Virginia Tech saying, we're not done here.
No.
They have roared to the finish, and they might steal it in this final minute.
Michael Vick motivated them. But it's the defensive end of the floor. And I think Lowell being, playing small ball and putting him at the 5. It allowed them to be able to defend the ball screen better. They were able to switch. His activity was able to recover. And then in the offensive end, he's knocked down a couple of threes, and then he's spacing the floor. I mean, just turns the corner here. Finish the and one, and here you go under the screen. You just can't do that. He's seeing the ball go through the basket. He's been clutch for the Hokies here as they're coming down the stretch.
So Jaden Shute in the last 5 games, just 5 of 22 from 3.
Yeah.
Well, he is 3 of 4 tonight, combined with Toby Lawal's double-double, 22 points to go along with 11 rebounds, a career high for Lawal.
We talked about if you're a guard, you want to play for Kevin Keats. If you're a shooter, you definitely want to play for Mike Young. Both of these coaches require you to defend, but they allow you a ton of freedom on the offensive end.
7 seconds on the shot clock, so the Hokies have to hurry. Rodney Brown Jr. with it. Off to shoot. Steps in from the logo. No good. NC State clinging to a 1-point lead under 40 seconds to play. Trying to escape Cassell Coliseum with a critical conference win on the road. Jaden Taylor picked up his dribble, in trouble. Finds Marcus Hill, 4 seconds to shoot. Off to Taylor, heaves a 3. Can't connect. Who's got the rebound? It's still loose. Jaden Shute off to Brown Jr. 10 seconds. Shute for 3. Missed it. Bounces out. Shute regathers, and a foul called with 2.3 seconds. And Virginia Tech is in the double bonus. So Shute will shoot 2. A chance to take the lead from the foul line.
What a hectic sequence here by both teams. Can Shute calm his nerves? Is he here at the free throw line with a chance to put the Hokies up 1? What could cap an incredible comeback win.
Jaden Shute, a 73% foul shooter on the season. The weight of this game on his shoulders. We are tied at 76.
Right guy's on the line too. He's had it going these last couple of possessions. Mike Young, you want to have him in as Keats burns a timeout trying to freeze him.
Interesting that you would use your final timeout now, because on the off chance he makes it, wouldn't you want to set it up?
He's going to set up a play if he makes it. You're trying to freeze him, give him something to think about. If he misses it, you're okay with going into overtime.
Right.
But if he makes it, he's going to draw up his play now. Letting his guys know it's 2.3 seconds. He's going to try to inbound the basketball near half court, giving him 2 dribbles. Cross your fingers and hope for a miracle if you're celebrating, hoping the Wolfpack can pull it out. Wow.
And if you're NC State, you didn't think you'd find yourselves in this position. You led this game 60-45. And it's been a 31-16 run by Virginia Tech, and a chance for Jaden Shute to deliver the first lead for Virginia Tech since it was 29-28.
Wow. They have stormed back in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this game. I mean, it was a 10-point lead. State, the pressure was bothering the Hokies, and they stepped it up on the offensive end. And it boils down to the little things, too. You force your stop there. You're unable to secure the rebound and commit a foul with 2.3 seconds left. That's a tough call to make and a tough way to lose a game. If Jaden Shute can knock down his free throw.
Coming up next, ACC basketball on a Wednesday night continues. Pittsburgh and Florida State. But first, Jaden Shute for the lead. Got it!
Great substitution by Mike Young there, allowing him to set his bench. Allows you time to identify the lineup.
Little confusion. Mike Young saying, I want to use my final timeout. The official's not giving it to him. Kevin Keats giving an earful to Brett Hampton. And finally, Mike Young does get the timeout he wanted to call. So
Keats doesn't like the call, the foul that was called there. He's still upset about that. You obviously don't want a game to end, to be affected by the whistle.
So both teams out of timeouts. Virginia Tech has stormed back from down 15 to up 1. They are 2.3 seconds away from stealing this game. Jaded Shoot down the stretch, who scored Virginia Tech's last 9 points to put them in front. What do you do here if you're NC State? 2.3 seconds.
Well, I think he's going to try to inbound the basketball, getting it on a move, trying to throw it directly to half court if you could. Telling your players you got 2 dribbles. He doesn't have a timeout. Telling you guys which side of the floor you want the inbound play on. I look to see if Jaden Taylor just catching it on the move. He's going to try to inbound the ball. Got to be careful here. Middlebrook is unguarded. He may try to heave it. I think they're going to back screen Middlebrook and heave it the length of the court.
Into Middlebrook, stolen away. Ben Burnham finishes it with a flush. And Virginia Tech wins it.
What a finish by the Hokies. Wow. Great job, Ben Burnham, using his experience there. He knew Ben Middlebrook was involved in the play, just wasn't sure how. Great awareness there to come up and steal that pass. And secure a win with a great comeback win by the Hokies. Wow, what a game.
NC State had a 15-point lead, 60-45. Well, Virginia Tech finishes this game on a 34-16 run to win it in incredible fashion. The Hokies back to 3-3 in conference play. What a remarkable game here on a Wednesday night in Cassell Coliseum.
It has been. We couldn't ask for anything better. Both teams fought hard. This game could have gone either way. State was in control of it, but what a closing 5 minutes by the Hokies. Just a heck of a win.
NC State, the close games continue. A 1-point win against Notre Dame, a 2-point loss to UNC, and a 3-point loss to Virginia Tech as Mike Young notches his 100th win as Hokies head coach in thrilling fashion. The final score 79-76 for Randolph Childress, our terrific crew. I'm Jay Alter saying so long from Blacksburg. Let's get you to Tallahassee for Florida State and Pitt.